understand, cause these niggas weak, these niggas don't know what to do. You see these soldiers beside me, standing in all black with their shields on post, marching, they all my brother.
Lord is precious, but loyalty is priceless. Hard when the mind might leave you lifeless. Wrong with this shit, I'ma need a diaper. Endure through any crisis, cause all my niggas righteous, all politics with violence. Cowards fold, real niggas hold rank, stand for what they believe and won't compromise a day. Never harmonize with traitors, do not affiliate with impersonators. You cross the line, you gon' catch the vapors. My niggas strong, no chase. Them other niggas sweet like annihilators. Tank full of brown sugar like annihilators. Every time I move, a righteous demonstration. All I deny is Satan. My brother's glorious, true warriors. The labor swore down and death sentence. Can't stop till we notorious. Thrown in my way with a supreme audience. Proud ass nigga get exiled. No loitering around my brothers.
Yeah, you already know what it is. 144 back again. You be tank style, put it down for my brothers. And I roll with straight soap.
That's
you
right.
See them niggas with them shields.
That's
and
right.
Fatigues and them boots. They my brothers. We gon' rule it on the king, you understand? We gon' rule this bitch at all costs. Nigga, we gon' take this from them platters.
That's right.
This day.
That's
Take
right.
it to the
That's
ground.
right.
And we gon' eat and drink. Me and all
My brain like the ladder house. You can't blend with my men, nigga. I can tell you fake from your treacherous mouth. Claim to God is all love, we don't believe that. Give a damn about your 2 cents, fuck your feedback. I give it all for my brothers, they deserve it. No excuses for my niggas, they striving to be perfect. Sacrifice whatever form, they're never over. You be cake, we click tight like Sweet Pea and Joe. Endure to the end, it's what a wise man told me. Liquor from the top shelf, but I spit it with the low. 144, nigga, everybody know. All I ever wanted was revenge, fuck a road. Say you down for the cause, gotta show me. Stand tall and do not blush. Remain calm when the danger pop up. Go deep like David Jones locker. My boss the central locker. No competition, only glory in the distance for my brothers.
Hey, Shalom Israel. It's the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, started out of 1 West, Harlem, New York, under Commanding General Yohanan. I'm Priest and Officer Tappazar, and this is the Isupk Killeen Brotherhood class. And I got with me the mighty man, Trooper Carl Kazar. He'll be reading for me tonight. I want to say Shalom, Yahweh Hashem Yahushua Brakatham to the brothers, and Shalom, Yahweh Shamar, Alataba Hashem Yahushua to the sisters. You know what I'm saying? I'm glad y'all back with us this week. You know, due to certain circumstances, we wasn't able to broadcast last week, but we definitely glad to be back in the mix. You know what I'm saying? Shalom to the 12 tribes, you know what I'm saying? Sky to the 4 corners, you know what I mean? And this week's Brotherhood class, we dealing with, you know what I'm saying, Brotherhood helps overcome, you know what I mean, the oppressor. You understand? And this is a very special week, you know what I'm saying, for all Israelites, you know what I'm saying, for all those who are in the truth. You know what I mean? This is the Feast of Dedication. You understand? And, you know, tomorrow, actually I believe Thursday is when the feast ends, tomorrow, Thursday. But, you know, this entire observance, this entire feast, you understand, is really bringing back to remembrance and keeping in our memory the power of brotherhood. You understand? And you know, because see, the thing is that brotherhood doesn't just exist within the truth, man. You understand? You know, our enemies have brotherhood. You know what I mean? Within our nation, within our people, for blacks, you know what I mean, Hispanics and Native Indians, we have various brotherhoods. Because what is brotherhood at the core? Brotherhood is in the agreement between men to achieve one common goal, to achieve one common cause. And there's a lot of brotherhood out there. You know what I'm saying? You know, for us, you know, that grew up in, you know, in the black and Hispanic communities, there was brotherhood with the gangs. You understand? Gangs have brotherhood. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, they have a common goal of, you know what I'm saying, they want to be able to survive in under the oppression, survive in this environment of oppression and poverty. You understand? And the way they do that is by banding together, you know what I'm saying, committing to certain codes, certain principles, morals, or so-called morals or ethics. Excuse me, Salaki. And through that bond, they acquire power, or what they believe to be power. You understand? They you know, it's about getting to the bag, getting money, right? If somebody mess up, you know what I'm saying, the package, or mess up the bag, you know, everybody, you know, stomp them out together. You know what I'm saying? After they get done, you know, doing a good 16-hour shift on the corner on the block, they hit the club and spend money together. You understand? They get women together. You know what I mean? Go back to the telly together. You know, that's a brotherhood right there. You understand? You know, now, but it's a brotherhood that, you know, that keeps us in this in the oppression that we're under, because really that brotherhood is built off of lies, man. You understand? It's built off of the very thing that destroys our people. But nevertheless, it's a brotherhood. You understand? These other religions, man, you know what I'm saying? They have brotherhoods. You know, Islam, that's a brotherhood. You know what I mean? You have people that come together for under one common cause. You know what I'm saying? They worship a power that they want to call Allah, right? They pray 5 times a day. They observe, you know, their different observances, Ramadan, right? You know what I'm saying? They agree to certain tenets of their beliefs, and they're in agreement. And when they see each other, they greet each other with their greetings, and, you know, they show love to those who are of the same belief system. You know what I'm saying? That's a brotherhood. You understand? But it's not a brotherhood that's going to get black people, blacks and Hispanics out of their condition. Why? Because that brotherhood is built off of a belief in a false god, man. That's a brotherhood that was made up for the Arabs. You understand? And really, it's a off-brand, you know what I'm saying, jacked up, stepped on remix of Israelite culture. Because you had an Arab named Muhammad observing Israelites in their brotherhood, keeping their laws and to their God and to their power, and he went and did a little remake of that, and you know, and try to get that for the Arabs. You know what I'm saying? Even though we know goddamn well that the Lord didn't set up a covenant with Ishmael. You understand? His covenant was established with Isaac. You know what I mean? Through Jacob, and then on to the 12 tribes, right? But nevertheless, through Islam, you have blacks and Hispanics that have a brotherhood through that, even though it's a false brotherhood, man. You understand? Because see, ultimately, man, everybody is looking for connection. Everybody is looking for people to be allied with, to be able to come together with, to achieve their goals, man. Because it's really difficult to achieve, anything that's meaningful by yourself. And anybody with any type of reasonable intelligence understands that. So what you do is you look for a group that seems to be progressing or seems to be excelling, and you attach yourself to that, right? And you try to, gain some type of momentum or gain some type of, love or power within that. You understand? That's why you have, and for these HBCUs and these colleges, man, you have like the Alphas, the Kappas, the Zetas or whatever. All these Greek fraternities, they have a brotherhood. They have a process to where you have to be introduced into this brotherhood and come in and to become one of them. Like I think they call it hazing, where you got to go through trials to be approved and to become considered a brother. They even put Salaki, what's that? They put a brand of a Greek, signature on the body after they've gone through their process or whatever like that, their initiation process, and they become a brotherhood, and that brotherhood extends itself into, you know what I'm saying, into corporate America, because a lot from a lot of the reasons why blacks and Hispanics get involved into these fraternities is because when they get into college, they want to have those relationships to be able to network, you know what I'm saying, to be able to build their careers and to build those relationships. So when they get out into the corporate world, they have people that they know, because you know what I'm saying, it's a lot of times, man, when it comes to these jobs, man, it's not what you know, it's who you know. And you know, I experienced that myself. You know what I mean? You know, before me coming into this truth, and you know how it is when you come into the truth. You know what I'm saying? Not only do you lose family, not only do you lose, you know what I mean, relationships, but you also lose employment. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, prior to me losing my employment, you understand, from coming into this truth, it wasn't what I knew that got me where I was at the time. You know what I'm saying? I had a little position, you know what I'm saying? I wouldn't call it corporate per se, but it was, but you understand? But I was making a pretty penny, you understand? But I didn't get it because of my education. I got it because of who I knew. You understand? It was a brother that I knew that put me on. You understand? And in those Greek fraternities, man, that's a lot of what it is, man. It's building those relationships to be able to get ahead in life, man. You understand? But none of that is going to get blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians out of our condition, man. Out from under the foot and the thumb of our oppressor. You understand? Listen, 300 black men and, you know what I mean, and black women making over 100,000 a year is not going to free the whole nation of blacks and Hispanics, man, across the diaspora, across the you know what I mean, South America, in America. You understand? Because what happens is, man, is that, you know, and you know, people feel like money is the answer to all things, but money answers all things, but it's not the answer to all things, man. You understand? Because the love of money is the root of all evil, man. People get money and they forget their people. They forget the priority, man. They forget to love their neighbor. You understand? So you have these brotherhoods that are established, you know, seeking to, having these various goals and whatnot. But at the end of the day, what does it all amount to, though? What does it all add up to, man? We still getting shot down the street by police. Our daughters are still getting put into sex trafficking rings, man, and shipped across the 50 states and overseas. You understand? Being used and abused by men who got a little bread. You understand? Being sold to deviant white men. You understand? With sick, perverse lust, man. Doing whatever with minors and whatnot, man. You understand? We still got our children on the border, man, sleeping under tinfoil, being separated from their parents, man. We still got Hispanic women locked in these detainment centers, man, having, you know what I'm saying, their reproductive organs extracted from them, man. You understand? Without consent. You understand? We still have, you know, the majority of our young black and Hispanic men locked up behind prison walls, man. You know, working for the prison industrial complex, man, making this wicked kingdom, you know what I mean, still be sustainable, man. You understand? So all these little brotherhoods that we have and we come across, they're not benefiting us, man. And then we have the most significant brotherhood, you know what I mean, in the world, man, which is the Christian church, man. You understand? Because you have the Christian pastor, man, that conveys to the congregation, man, these pork chop pastors that convey to the congregation that, you know, God wants you to be rich. God wants you to prosper. He's not teaching you about, you know, the things that you do that offend God, that leave you in death. And what do I mean? What do I mean when I say death? Like, what am I talking about when I say death? Am I talking about, somebody being in the coffin? Somebody being in the grave? Is that what I'm referring to? You understand? No, because you had Christ, you know, talking to a man, and the man, you know, Christ told the man, he said, "Come follow me." Right? And the man said, "I gotta go bury my father first." And the response that Christ had to that man he said, "Let the dead bury the dead." Now, how can someone who's dead bury a dead man? So clearly he wasn't talking about being physically dead, man. He was talking about being spiritually dead, man. And for blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, man, spiritual death is breaking the laws, statutes, and commandments that were given to us by the Most High, man. Our culture. You understand? The culture for blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, man. All right? The laws that were given through Moses, man. You understand? So that's death. And because the Christian pastor doesn't teach us about the righteousness of God, what God expects from his people, we continue to break those laws, even though we're in these brotherhoods. Like, you know, like I said, you have the brotherhood that's in the streets, man, with the various drug crews or gangs. We you know, brothers come to an agreement. They in poverty, they want to get money. They got their code laid out. No snitching. You know what I'm saying? You know, we don't love these hoes. We not finna fight over no female. We just pass her around. But see, all these things that we come up with, you know what I'm saying? These brotherhoods outside of what was given to us by the Most High, it keeps us in this condition, man. It keeps us really under the oppressor. If the brotherhood, if the brotherhood that we come up with doesn't get us out of this condition, then what is it worth, man? What is it? I mean, what's the point? The Black Panthers have brotherhood. They have brotherhood, right? They saw police coming into their communities, abusing innocent black people, innocent black women, right? And they said to themselves, man, I'm tired of seeing this, man. I'm tired of seeing, you know, our kids go to school. They don't have, they're not getting no food because, you know what I mean, the white man that put drugs in our community. So the mamas and dads are out there, you know, trying to buy crack instead of buy groceries. So they set up a breakfast program. And ain't nothing wrong with that, man. That's love, you know what I mean? To feed the children before they go to school. They set up little patrols to watch out in the neighborhoods to see if blacks and Hispanics were being abused by police officers, man, and to be able to intervene in that situation. But what else was going on though? You had drug dealing going on the side. You understand? You had drug abuse going on the side. You had black men sleeping with white women, and then ultimately you had brothers, you know, speaking at these colleges where you had different nations coming to here, and you know they wasn't saying power to blacks and Hispanics. They were saying power to the people. So ultimately, they wasn't dealing with no separation. They was dealing with loving everybody and getting everybody involved in their movement, man. You understand? They aligned themselves really with the communist movement, man. You understand? Which dealt with some of our people, because you had people like Fidel Castro. You understand? What's the other brother, man? He was an Argentinian. I can't think of it. Oh yeah, Che Guevara, Slovakia. Che Guevara. You understand? Who had written different manifestos trying to organize, you know what I'm saying, poor people to come up under this communist regime. You understand? Or this communist political philosophy, because those are brotherhoods. Being a communist, being a Republican, being a Democrat. You understand? Those are brotherhoods. You have people that you have people right now who align themselves with the Democratic Party, and they have the same political goals, the same political viewpoints. That's a brotherhood. But for blacks and Hispanics who've aligned themselves with these different political affiliations, has that gotten us up out of our oppression? Has that stopped the white man from putting his boot on our neck? Has that removed the knee from the neck of blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, man? You understand? Has that prevented the police from having a man be butt naked in the street, handcuffed with his hands cuffed behind his back and a plastic bag over his head and suffocate to death? Has that prevented that? I just seen a video, man, where you had members of I want to say the Black Caucus or some type of black political organization that was on a feed with Joe Biden, and Joe Biden was showing his ass, man. You know what I mean? Talking to them disrespectful. You know, I've been in this longer than you. You know what I mean? Like he was just talking to them like they were beneath his feet, man. And this is who blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians were begging for to get into office. You know, they just chose another devil, man. You understand? But the thing is, man, is that our oppressor has no issue with showing his horns, showing who he really is with our people, because he knows that ultimately we don't have the brotherhood that the Most High ordained for us. Righteous brotherhood, man. You understand? We rather just get together in a group to, for our own come up. Ultimately. You know what I mean? The Christian church, the Christian pastor, when he tells you that God wants you to prosper, he's telling you to go for self. He's coming in the same spirit that of America, the same spirit of the United States, man. You know what I mean? Life, liberty, and the pursuit of your happiness, man. Not your neighbor's happiness, not the children of your people, man. Not your brother, not your sister. You understand? If you align with a Greek fraternity and you are alpha, is you really linked up with the captains, or ain't there some type of little beef there? You might express it through stepping and all that stuff, but the whole bottom line is that ain't no black, Hispanic, or Native Indian or Greek anyway. See, we have no problem with taking on the culture of another nation. You know what I mean? If we want to join Islam, that's not our culture. That's the culture of the Arabs, man. But we have no problem taking on their culture, right? We join these fraternities, man, to get branded, but that's the culture of the Greeks, man. Which is a homosexual culture. Some of these hazing initiations is when you get into the thick of it, it's a lot of homosexual activity involved, man. Because they're pulling and drawing from a homosexual culture, man. The Greeks. That's not the culture of blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, man. You understand? When we take, like, you have some brothers, man. They're Masons. You know what I'm saying? But that culture comes out of Greek and Egyptian culture, man. We're not Africans, man. And the only reason why the Greeks even got hold of that is because Alexander took over Egypt. But that culture of masonry came from the Hamites, man. That's not our culture. Now listen, you have some, in terms of masonry, they have to throw in things of the Bible. Like they want to say things like Solomon's temple and Boaz and Yakin. You know what I'm saying? They want to throw those little words in, like the two pillars and all that. But listen, man, the Bible has nothing to do with Freemasonry, man. You understand? That ultimately was developed by another nation, man. But that's the problem that has been plaguing our people since the beginning, man. It started off with the Lord giving us our culture, giving us our brotherhood, giving us the laws, statutes, and commandments to keep us as a nation together, as a family. Rules that a family goes by, man. But instead, what we did was we go outside and we see our neighbors, with the Christmas lights on the house, the blow up Santa Claus, reindeer. You know what I mean? The nativity scenes, which is like the little scene when they have Mary and Joseph and the manger and a white baby Jesus. And, a Hispanic, Caucasian, and an African, or not even Hispanic, Salakia, an Arab, Caucasian, and an African king giving gifts to this white baby. We go outside and we see that and we get intrigued by that. Or just off of some, what they call that, man, what is that in high school? They call that peer pressure. We blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians suffering from heathen peer pressure. We see everybody else doing these heathen acts. As a matter of fact, man, give me Jeremiah 10, man. Doing these heathen acts, man, and we get intrigued by it, and we want to take on their ways, man. We want to take on a brotherhood with these other nations when these other nations have conspired and are confederate against us, man. You understand? We reject the brotherhood from the Most High that He showed us as a people. We know the scriptures say that He made us a holy nation, a separate nation. You understand? Above all other nations. Special unto him. To be separate from all this garbage. But we don't want that, man. We want the approval of the very people that want to see us at the bottom. You understand? That's what blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, that's what we look for, man. You understand? But the Lord gave us brotherhood, man. He gave us the laws, man, because he knew from the gate, if you're not ruling them, they're going to be ruling you. Because the Lord ain't 50-50, man. You know what I'm saying? He not in the middle. It's either we on top or we on the bottom. But blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians feel like they can still achieve getting on top by having a brotherhood outside of what the Lord prescribed for his people, man. And that's not going to happen. It'll never happen. You understand? And I'm going to tell y'all, man, the reason why we are at where we're at is because we have refused the brotherhood that the Lord gave us. And we've taken on the brotherhood of the Greeks, the brotherhood of the Egyptians, the Africans, the brotherhood of the Arabs, the brotherhood of the Asians, man. We've taken on the brotherhood of our oppressor. You understand? These different denominations, these different religions, these are all groups of people that have come together to band together because they've agreed that this is what they feel like is going to make their life better or make them progress. But if you're a black, Hispanic, Native Indian man, the only thing that's going to cause you to have any growth in life, the only thing that's going to cause you to have any type of freedom is by doing what's in this Bible, man. What's in these scriptures, man. And we know what that is, man. We say it every week, man. Zephaniah 2:1, man. Gather yourselves together. Not gather every nation together. This ain't no kumbaya, hands across America. You know what I'm saying? All colors of the rainbow. Let's put it all in the same melting pot and see what kind of stew we cook. This is not what the Lord ordained for his people, man. It said to gather yourselves together. And I mean, you know, when you first hear that phrase, it may sound like he's saying, no, gather yourselves together. Everybody need to come together. Then he says it again, gather yourselves together. But then he qualifies who he wants to be gathered together. O nation not desired. The white man is desired. The white man is desired. The white man goes into every country and injects his culture, and you see those people try to look and be like him. Where did you see the Japanese man wearing a three-piece suit? Where did you see the Arab man wearing a three-piece suit at any time in history in his culture? Where did you see the African man wearing a three-piece suit anywhere, anytime in his culture? The Pacific Islander, where did you see them wearing a three-piece suit? The Japanese had kimonos. They had their traditional samurai garb. The Arab had their robes and their head wraps, man. The Africans had their kente cloths and their robes. You understand? Some of them out there half naked with plates in their lips. You understand? But they had their traditional garb and garments, man. You understand? The Chinese had their garments, man. It was only when the white man came into these cultures did they desire to be like him. You understand? Why do we as a people now, like you even have our people, our women looking at men in these suits and I say, oh, he looks nice because he looks like who is in power. But the Lord didn't tell us to dress like that. That's not what the description of what we're supposed to wear that's in the scriptures. But we refuse the brotherhood of the Lord. The Lord gave us a culture that we could be proud of, man. He gave us feast days that we can observe. He gave us laws for us to be able to deal with each other, man. He gave us the structure of our leadership. But we rather follow the heathens, man. Follow these other nations. Did I ask you to grab a precept?
Come, come.
Which one was that?
Jeremiah 10.
Right, yeah, go ahead and bring that out.
Come. The book of Jeremiah, chapter 10, starting at verse 1.
Right.
Hear ye the word which the Lord speaketh unto you, O house of Israel.
Right. Wait, start from the top, Salakia. Start from the top.
Come. Book of Jeremiah, chapter 10, verse 1. Hear ye the word which the Lord speaketh unto you.
So the Lord speaking to who?
O house of Israel.
The house of the Africans.
O house of Israel.
The house of the white man.
O house of Israel.
The house of the Asian man.
O house of Israel.
Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. The Lord is saying, hear this word that I'm speaking to you. Go ahead.
Come. Verse 2. Thus saith the Lord, learn not the way of the heathen.
No, study it.
Learn not the way of the heathen.
No, when you see what they do, imitate what they do.
Learn not the way of the heathen.
The Lord. I have no issue with you, celebrating their holidays.
Learn not the way of the heathen.
Okay.
And be not dismayed at the signs of heaven.
Right. You understand? Like, a lot of y'all out here, man, y'all, listen. Your character is built off of you taking what the Lord says, man, keeping his laws, statutes, and commandments, and enduring. That's how your character is formed and built. It's not built from the month and day that you were born in. And a lot of y'all take this zodiac stuff, man, and y'all to the max with it, man. You know what I mean? You just you drop off the cliff with it. Saturn is in the 5th house, and Salakia. Saturn's in the 5th house, and all this other garbage. But the Lord is saying, learn not the way of the heathen. You understand? And do not be dismayed at the signs of heaven. I don't know what this means, but I hear them always talking about Mercury and retrograde. Man, listen, man. Astronomy, okay, is as a science. The science of having a telescope, watching actual planets and their motions in heaven. Okay, being able to locate a planet. That's one thing, man. But astrology is nonsense, man. And the Lord is against it. He's telling you, don't be dismayed at the signs of heaven. You see some type of movement in the stars, that has nothing to do with what's going on with you, man. All right, that has nothing to do with you eating pork, crab, shrimp, or lobster. You sleeping with your brother's wife. You understand? You coveting your brother's goods, and then you going to kick his door in and take his PS5 and whatever else he has in the house. You understand? It has nothing to do with that, man. You keeping the law, statutes, and commandments has nothing to do with the motion of the stars, man. You understand? This is the Israelite school of practical knowledge. Okay? People want to say because they was born as a zodiac sign that's the reason why they are the way they are. But the scripture says that, man, that if we're born again, we become a new man, a new creature, man. All old things have passed away. Your character traits, man, and who you are as a person, the kind of brother or sister that you are, has to do with whether or not if you're a black, Hispanic, and Native Indian, it has to do with whether or not you are obeying what the Lord said. If you're hearing the Lord and hearkening unto his words, man. Not the month that you were born under, or the star that you were born under, or planet that you were born under, man. It's nonsense. Keep reading.
Don't come. For the heathen are dismayed at them.
The heathen are dismayed at them. So when you observe zodiac signs, when you say, oh, it's I'm a Scorpio, or I'm a Leo, or I'm this, or I'm that, and I do this, you are observing and being dismayed like the heathen. But the Lord called you to be holy, and that word holy is talking about being set apart, being separate. It means that you don't do what everybody else does. You don't follow the culture of these other nations, man. You understand? Keep reading.
Verse 3. For the customs of the people are vain.
Their customs are vain, man. You understand? This feast that we're in the middle of right now, this feast of dedication, it wasn't a vain custom. It was the water. It was brotherhood at its highest height. You understand? It was us taking back our culture and us having respect and love for our culture and respect and love for each other and banding together and taking back what belonged to us and rededicating our lives to serving the Lord, man. But this custom that we just came up out of, the celebration of the massacre, Salaki, of our native Indian brothers, that custom is vain. That custom is vain because, you know, I'm not saying that it's not a good thing to celebrate the death of your enemies, because that's what we have Passover for. That's what we had the Feast of Dedication for, was us triumphing over our enemies and taking back what belonged to us. In the case of the Feast of Dedication, it was taking back the temple. It was taking back our city, Jerusalem, having control over it again and taking it back from our enemies. In the case of the Passover, it was us taking back our freedom, or really the Most High Power giving us our freedom, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, the Israelites, the 12 tribes, giving us our freedom and destroying our enemies, man. And we celebrated that. That's what Passover is. But for you to celebrate Thanksgiving, you're giving thanks to Cesare Borgia, man. You're giving thanks to the white man, because the white man gave thanks to his power for killing your brethren. It's nothing wrong with you celebrating the death of your enemies, but Thanksgiving wasn't celebrating the death of your enemies, it's celebrating the death of your own people, man. That's why it's so wicked. You understand? This custom that's coming up right now, man, you know, which the scripture's about to get into, it's a vain custom. It doesn't pertain to our people. Keep reading.
For one cutteth a tree out of the forest, the work of the hands of the workman, with the axe. Verse 4. They deck it with silver and with gold.
Right. They do what?
They deck it with silver and with gold.
Go ahead and start up a verse again before that.
Come. For the customs of the people are vain.
Right.
For one cutteth a tree out of the forest, the work of the hands of the workman,
right,
with the axe. Verse 4.
What that sound like? That sound like, I mean, a lot of y'all, you know, you don't live like in Minnesota and these other countries like where they got fresh pine trees and all that. Y'all just going to Walmart and getting you a little plastic remake, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, take it to your house. But this sound a lot like what's coming up, you know what I mean, at the end of this month. Taking a tree and taking it out of the forest and doing what now?
They deck it with silver and with gold.
What that sound like? Who do that? Y'all Christians out here, man, you know, y'all say y'all believe in the Most High, y'all believe in Christ, but the Most High who sent Christ is telling you here, this is a vain custom. But this year, even though you notice it's in the Bible, you're going to continue to do on the same things, man. You know what I'm saying? You're going to continue to practice the same customs. Continue reading.
Come. They fasten it with nails and with hammers, that it move not.
Right. Y'all got the little stand for the tree. You put the screws in, that it stand up straight, and then y'all lace it with silver and gold and tinsel and put a star on top or some angel on top, you understand? Or what they want to call an angel. Usually it's, you know, you got some blacks who want to call themselves woke. They want to throw a black angel on top of that, man. But ain't no angel of the Lord down with any of that garbage. You understand? And a lot of y'all, man, especially this year, man, you know, the Lord gonna strike y'all with COVID-19. If not, a house fire. from your electrical hazards from having all them lights hooked up to your house, man. But the bottom line of this is that that's the custom is vain. It's not the custom of Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, man. You understand? And really, it's us showing that we're subjugated to our oppressor. You understand? We're celebrating his holiday. Is letting it be known that he has rule over us. That we're not under the rule of the Most High power, man. You understand? And at the end of the day, it destroys brotherhood. Because them same, and when I say brotherhood, I mean it destroys righteous brotherhood. Because you got people right now that are out there, right, who have a brotherhood, who are out there on them corners, moving them packs, selling them drugs, because what's coming up? Christmas. So they have a common cause. They want all their kids to have a good holiday, to have a good Christmas, to have gifts under the tree. And so they're going to go out there and sell these drugs and destroy other Black and Hispanic families so that their family can have a good holiday. But they have brotherhood to accomplish that. Right? They have their connect, they have their plug, they get their work, they come together, they break it down, they bag it up, and they hit the streets, man. And they get that money together. But that brotherhood that they're showing is keeping our people in this condition. It's keeping our people in this oppression. It's destroying our people, man. You understand? These Greek fraternities, they gonna do all these little homosexual initiations and activities and all that. You know what I'm saying? To try to, even though they could be failing grades, they gonna have these little fraternity parties. Have the sister fraternities come there, get ran through, trains ran on them and all that. You know what I'm saying? And when they get in the corporate world, try to hook each other up with jobs, right? From these elder fraternity members and whatnot, right? These alumni, to do what? To be able to make $6,000 a year and up. To do what? To celebrate this holiday of our oppressor. All of these things that we're doing, none of this brotherhood that we're supposedly showing is going to get us out of our condition, man. It's offending the very power that can free us from this hell. When you get branded with that Greek symbol on your arm, you're offending the Lord. You're breaking the law. You're angering the Lord. You understand? When you go through those initiations, you're offending the Lord. When you put on that compass and you go through these secret initiations to become a Mason, you're offending the Lord, man. That's not the culture that He gave you if you're a Black, Hispanic, or Native Indian. If you're taking on this commitment to Islam, you're offending the Lord. Every brotherhood outside of what the Lord gave us, there's a punishment and a curse associated with it. But that's the brotherhood that's of the world, man. You understand? That's the brotherhood of the world. That's why Christ said, He said, they shall know that you're my disciples by the way that you love one another, that you have love for one another. Because there's brotherhoods outside of this, man. And Christ spoke about that. He said, man, do you salute your brethren only? Even the publicans do that. The publicans were Israelites who collected taxes for the white man and got paid off of the poverty and oppression of his own people, of other Israelites. He would go and collect taxes. And in order for him to get paid and have a come up, he'd mark it up. He add a little tax on the tax. So it's like how we look at snitches today, or how we look at rats today. Like they're the lowest thing on the earth. That's how Israelites looked at tax collectors, man, publicans. But Christ said, if you salute your brethren only, are you no better than the publicans? Even they do that. What is he saying? Even those who are outside of, those who are keeping these laws, statutes, and commandments, even they have a brotherhood. Even they know how to get along and work together towards one common cause and come together on common ground. But blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, we find every reason in every other nation to link up with except our own people. Listen, man, Zephaniah 2:1 is not a suggestion, it's a commandment. To gather ourselves together, yea, gather ourselves together, O nation not desired, before the terrible day of the Lord come, man. And we be cut off. This is a commandment. It's a commandment and it's a warning. Because the Lord is coming. You understand? But now what we about to do, man, is see, you know, what real brotherhood is, man. And see, real brotherhood, man, is established, man. You know what I'm saying? When I say real brotherhood, I mean righteous brotherhood. Righteous brotherhood is established with righteous leadership. You understand? Hey, go ahead and we're gonna see that, man. And we're gonna find out what that was. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? In the time, you understand, of Moses and Aaron, and in the time of the Maccabees, man. You understand? Give me that Maccabees 1 real fast. First Maccabees chapter 1. Let me see. Shalakia. Because, you know, the scriptures say that there's nothing new under the sun, man. It's nothing new under the sun. And what we're going through right now is the people we were going through back then, man. And see, when we don't have any brotherhood, man, you know, Christ said that a house divided against itself cannot stand. You know, it comes to desolation. That word desolation just means destruction. It breaks down, man. You understand? Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians right now, we're under we're representing every flag except the flag of blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians under our righteous leadership, which is Christ. And his leadership, which is on earth, which is Commander General Yohana and the ISUPK. You understand? We grab every flag. We want to be Democrat. We want to be Republican. We want to be atheist. We want to be Christian. We want to be Muslim. You understand? We want to be a Scientologist. We want to be a Buddhist. You know what I'm saying? We want to be a Taoist. We want to be a Hindu, a Hinduist. We want to be everything except for what the Lord called us to be, man. As a matter of fact, man, hold on. Let me get that first, man. Salakia. Before we get into that Maccabees, man. Let's see what the Lord called us to be, man. Because the Lord never called us to be no Muslim. He never called us to be no Christian. You know what I'm saying? Salakia. Give me Exodus 19:6.
The book of Exodus, chapter 19, verse 6. And ye shall be unto me.
Read the verse above it, Salakia.
Come. Verse 5. Now therefore, if ye will obey my voice indeed, and keep my covenant.
Do what?
And keep my covenant.
The Lord's saying that if we obey his voice and keep his covenant, keep his agreement. Because we agree with every other, we agree with every other people. We hear about you know, make America great again. We have blacks and Hispanics and Native Indians who agree with that. Even though that you know, when the white man thought America was great, the Native American was on a reservation on the Trail of Tears. The Hispanic man was dealing with the invasion of the whites and having a fight in the Alamo. You understand? And having California, New Mexico, and Arizona taken from him. The so-called Negro was on plantations, man, picking cotton, man, and having his women raped and having his children sold to other plantations. But we have blacks and Hispanics and Native Americans in this day showing brotherhood to their oppressor and putting on MAGA hats, man. Because we want to have agreement with our enemy. Keep reading.
Come. Then ye shall be a peculiar treasure unto me.
No, Salakia. Read again what you read from the top.
Come. Now therefore, if ye will obey my voice indeed,
obey the voice of the Lord. Not obey the voice of the white man. Not obey the voice of the Arab. Not obey the voice of the Asian, of the African. You know, if you a Mason, you're really obeying the voice of the Egyptians and the white man. If you in a Greek fraternity, you're really obeying the voice of the white man. You understand? If you in Islam, you obeying the voice of the Arab. But what did the Lord say again?
If ye will obey, if ye will obey my voice indeed, and keep my covenant,
right,
then ye shall be a peculiar treasure unto me,
above
all people.
Above who?
Above all people.
But see, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, man, we have an issue with that. We want to be equal to everybody. But what did he say?
If ye will obey my voice indeed and keep my covenant, then ye shall be a peculiar treasure unto me.
What's a peculiar treasure, man? That's like, if for you ladies out there, you have a man that's courting you or has an interest in you and he buys you a piece of jewelry, right? It's a peculiar treasure. It's something that you treasure. It's something that you value. You know what I'm saying? Or even a memento or an heirloom. You know what I mean? Your grandmother gave you a ring or a necklace, and it's something that's important to you because of who gave it to you. So you treasure that. You know what I'm saying? You place value on that. You put it in a little lock box. You have it in a little jewelry case, and you wear it on special occasions. And then if you have children, you want to pass that down to them because grandmother gave me this and she got it from her grandmother. You understand? It's a peculiar treasure, something that you value. The Lord is saying for the nation of Israel that we are His peculiar treasure, man. Who He values, man. I'm using the word brotherhood, man, but there's really not even a word for that. When He placed that level of preference and that level of love for our people, and then what do? We go and watch the heathen, and we want their love. And these are the people that hate us. Keep reading.
Come. Ye shall be a peculiar treasure unto me,
right,
above all people, for all the earth is mine.
That's right.
Verse 6. And ye shall be unto me a kingdom of priests.
A kingdom of what?
A kingdom of priests.
No, a kingdom of Greeks.
A kingdom of priests.
A kingdom of Masons.
A kingdom of priests.
A kingdom of Muslims.
A kingdom of priests.
A kingdom of Christians.
A kingdom of priests.
A kingdom of priests, man. You understand? The Lord didn't call us to be like these other people, man. He didn't call us for us to have brotherhoods built off the cultures of other nations. He didn't tell us to do these little Greek initiations, these little Greek hazings. You understand? He didn't call us to come together and pray 5 times a day and fast during the month of Ramadan. Let the Arabs have that brotherhood, man. You understand? Let these, like I seen an article, man, where and it's funny how the Lord do what He do, man. He's so cold with it, man. It's a white woman that joined the HBCU and she's pledging Greek, and all the black people got upset. It was hilarious. They was like, "Oh, here we go with cultural appropriation." Nah, it ain't cultural appropriation. She's white. She's a Greek. That's her culture. She was throwing up the diamond. Let her have that. That's the Lord showing you that you need to come up out of that. That don't belong to you. That belongs to her. You understand what I'm saying? But blacks getting upset, man. Like now they get upset about Joe Biden and how he was talking to this little black political group, or that was raising their concerns to him and how he was speaking to them. Hey man, look, it is what it is. The Lord told you, don't set a stranger over you. But you don't want to hear the Lord, so you're going to receive the punishment, which is shame, which is reproach, which is embarrassment, which is no power. The goal of brotherhood, the goal of coming together for one cause is to gain power. It's to come together and have power, because why? A droplet of water by itself don't have no power, but that droplet of water in an ocean or in a tsunami wave, it has a lot of power. It can affect a lot of things. That's just common sense. You know what I'm saying? Rarely do you see, and even in the animal world, you have wolf packs, you have flocks, you have the animals that move in groups. They hunt in groups. They sleep in groups. They protect each other. You have herds. Nobody moving by themselves is gonna accomplish anything that's significant or of note. So brotherhood is essential, but there's a difference between the righteous brotherhood that the Lord gave us and the brotherhood that's in the world, man. And blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians have been spending a great deal amount of time putting their energy into brotherhood that don't benefit them or their people. Shit, you even have brotherhood in the prisons, man. Behind the walls. Brotherhood is a necessity and necessary for survival. But any brotherhood outside of the laws, statutes, and commandments that was given to us by the Most High power is vain. It's a vain custom. You understand? Is there any more on that?
Come.
Go ahead.
These are the words which thou shalt speak unto the children of Israel.
Unto the children of the Africans.
Unto the children of Israel.
Unto the children of Esau, the white man.
Unto the children of Israel.
Unto the children of Moab and Ammon, the Chinese and the Japanese.
Unto the children of Israel.
This is the word that he spoke unto blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, man. That we were to be a kingdom of priests, man. A holy nation. A separate nation. So that lets you know that there's a separation between the brotherhoods, man. The brotherhood that you see our people involved in, whether it be political brotherhood, whether it be brotherhood that we learn in the streets, whether it's brotherhood that we learn in religion, all that comes from our oppressors, man. And you know, our oppressor, our main oppressor is the white man, the devil that the Bible speaks of. He's our main oppressor. But the scriptures say, man, in Psalm 83, man, that all the nations are confederate against us, man, seeking to cut us off. That the name of Israel will be no more in remembrance. So when you take from any one of these nations, man, you are destroying brotherhood, man. And our goal is to overcome. Our goal is to overcome the oppression of our enemy, man. And we can only do that through righteous brotherhood. And we're about to find out about that righteous brotherhood right now. Go to 1 Maccabees chapter 1, warrior. The water.
Starting at verse 1.
Yeah.
Okay. The book of 1 Maccabees chapter 1, verse 1. And it happened, after that Alexander, son of Philip, the Macedonian, who came out of the land of Chetaim, had smitten Darius, king of the Persians and Medes.
Right. So this is talking about a change in rulership. Okay, because prior to the white man being in rulership, the Persians were in rulership, and Darius was the ruler over the Persians. And this is when the white man came into rulership, and he took out that rulership. When I say rulership, I mean world rulership. Okay, go ahead.
Come on.
It's a lot.
That he reigned in his stead, the first over Greece.
The first over Greece. The Greeks. Okay, keep going.
Okay. Verse 2. And made many wars, and won many strongholds, and slew the kings of the earth.
Right. So this is Alexander having a campaign, a global campaign. This wasn't just local to his area. He was going into other nations, territories, and lands and having victory. Okay? Verse 3, go ahead.
Okay. And went through to the ends of the earth, and took spoils of many nations.
Right.
Insomuch that the earth was quiet before him, whereupon he was exalted, and his heart was lifted up.
Basically, because he got all these victories, he was feeling himself. You know what I'm saying? And you know, with cause, because there was nobody that was able to challenge him. Okay? Keep going.
Okay. Verse 4. And he gathered a mighty strong host, and ruled over countries, and nations, and kings, who became tributaries unto him.
That means that they paid tribute, they paid tax. You understand? He conquered them, so they had to pay. You understand? Nowadays, on a lower level, they want to call it extortion. You know what I'm saying? Like protection money or whatever like that. But it's when you when you know, if you don't have the means to tell somebody, you know, go ahead, then you gotta pay the bill. You gotta pay that toll, man. Okay. You know what I mean? Go ahead.
Verse 5. And after these things he fell sick, and perceived that he should die. Verse 6. Wherefore he called his servants, such as were honorable, and had been brought up with him from his youth, and parted his kingdom among them, while he was yet alive.
So it's like the same thing that, you know, like your grandpa do when he ready to die. He has a will, and he divvies up what he's earned and acquired over the years amongst his family. You understand? Alexander did this with the people the men that he came up with from when he was a young man. You know what I mean? First starting his whole journey as a military leader, he broke up his kingdom amongst them. Okay. Go ahead. Go ahead. Verse 9.
Come. Verse 9. And after his death, they all put crowns upon themselves. So did their sons after them many years, and evils were multiplied in the earth.
It's just saying that the white man being in charge, right? Him being in rulership, his kingdom, and him passing that kingdom down to their children, evil was spread upon the entire earth, man. Because the white man is the devil that the Bible speaks of. Okay, that's what this is saying. Okay, go ahead, verse 10.
Come. Verse 10. And there came out of them a wicked root, Antiochus,
right,
surnamed
Epiphanes,
son of Antiochus the king, who had been in hostage at Rome. And he reigned in the 137th year of the kingdom of the Greeks.
Right.
Verse 11. In those days went there out of Israel.
Went out of who?
Went there out of Israel. Wicked men.
No, righteous men.
Wicked men.
Okay.
Who persuaded many, saying, let us go and make a covenant with the heathen that are round about us.
When you have Black Lives Matter trying to, you know, deal with George Soros, or, you know, when you have, you know, or try to deal with like Joe Biden, when you have Ice Cube trying to go make a deal, with an agreement with Black America with Donald Trump or with Joe Biden, when you have our people joining these becoming Republican or becoming Democrat or becoming Salakia, what is it? Independent, so whatever political affiliation that they have, you know, as offered up to us in this hell. That's what the Bible's calling these people. He's calling Jesse Jackson the wicked. You understand? He's calling the NAACP the wicked. You understand? Even the Black Panther Party, who was trying to bring in, have whites come in to help them, man. You understand? Help them with their movement. He's calling them the wicked. Why? Read it again.
Come. In those days went there out of Israel wicked men, who persuaded many, saying, let us go and make a covenant with the heathen that are round about us.
Right.
For since we departed from them, we have had much sorrow.
Basically, what these wicked men said is that us keeping the laws, statutes, and commandments of the Most High, being holy, being separate, that the sorrow that came as a result of that this is the Christian pastor in essence, man. Salakia. This is the Christian pastor. Let's not be separate from them. Let's teach our people about prosperity. Let's teach our people to go out there and make that almighty dollar, man, and that God wants them to have a big house and a Mercedes Benz and to have all you know this lavish lifestyle. Let's go join the heathen and make an agreement with them. Let's go be Republicans. Let's go be Democrats. You know what I'm saying? Let's teach financial independence, because poverty is a mindset. Let's teach money's going to get us out of this, out of this problem. Us joining with the heathens and making an agreement with the heathens is going to get us out of this situation that we're in. Because since we separate ourselves, we've had much sorrow. But what did the scripture say? What did the Lord say? That when you come to serve the Lord, prepare yourself for what? For testing, for trial, to be put in the furnace, man. Because why? Like gold is tried in the fire, so are acceptable men tried in the furnace of adversity, man. You understand? You're not going to get rulership without no test, man. And you definitely not going to get rulership without brotherhood. But what these wicked bastards, the traitors of our people did, man, was the complete opposite of brotherhood, man. It was them wanting to come up. Usually, it's basically, you know what I'm saying? I seen a post, man. Good night. I don't know who. I don't know if it was Officer Kazak Ahmad. One of the wise mighty men above me. It was a post that said that strong men are born in troubled times. Then it said that something to the effect of that strong men create peaceful times. But then that peaceful times create weak men, and then that weak men create troubled times. It was heavy, man. It was a whole breakdown, because you have a man that stands for something, that goes through hell, you understand? And that hell builds him up and makes him strong. And through his strength and being able to apply his strength in the situation, he creates peace. Because, you create peace through war. Because through war, you're able to establish a righteous peace. You can't just have peace being peaceful. You understand? But in that peace, people not having no adversity, it creates weak men. And then when those weak men come into power, they create troubling times because they don't know how to secure actual peace. Because they don't have any strength. You understand? And right here, you had these men who were in a troubled time who said that they were going through sorrow and they didn't know how to have any brotherhood, man. At that moment in time, that wasn't the time to go and say, hey, let's break ranks, let's drop our sword, let's go ahead and get with the heathen and come up with a plan. When you're going through hard times, that's the most important time to lean on your brother, man. That's the time to lean on your brother, man. Give me Proverbs 17:17. That's the time when you lean on your people. You go to your leadership, man. Man, listen, man. Good night. Christ said that you are of your father the devil, and his lust you will fulfill, man. You know what our oppressor, who is the devil that the Bible speaks of, you know what he's filled with the most, man? Pride. Pride. And pride will have you gathering men unto yourself unto their own destruction, man. Have you leading people to their own death, man. Because you don't want to rely on what the Lord gave you. You don't want to rely on brotherhood. Yeah, it's going to be hard times. It's going to be times when you're going through things. It's going to be times where you don't have an understanding, you don't have an answer. But pride prevents you from being able to reach out and humble yourself to the men that are above you and get some understanding. You say to yourself, you don't have no brotherhood, so you say to yourself, I got an idea. I don't want to go through what everybody else is going through. I'm about to get some people who feel how I feel and carry them over here and do it how I want to do it. But that ain't what the Lord said to do. You don't want to submit to the men above you that have authority over you that might have an understanding of the times. That wasn't just on earth for 25 years. Wasn't just on earth for 30 years and 40 years. Who have been here for 50 and 60 years and seen the cycles and seen how the ebb and flow, how things go up and down, man. Who have the historical data, who have the history and the knowledge. Because there's nothing new under the sun. Ain't nothing that, man, that's the thing, man. I seen the clip today, Captain Tazariak, mighty man in the truth, you know what I'm saying? Mighty man. And he was dealing with the young brother. Some of y'all may know him. He go by Pharaoh. And this is like early on when before Pharaoh became like really known. and you know how he was on that side meta, you know what I mean, Black News come up, and he confronted Captain Tazariak, and Captain Tazariak was so brotherly and showed him so much brotherhood in the dialogue. But the young brother felt like what he was bringing to Captain Tazariak was going to just wow everybody. You know, and I don't want to get into the details of it. It was over like the arc. But, you know, it wasn't that what the young man said didn't have any validity to it. It's just that he didn't have the entire picture. And, you know, Captain Tazariak told him, he says, man, you know, before you approach me and before you bring out your sword against me, you might want to do a little bit more studying first. Because see, everybody want to feel like they got the answer, that they have the knowledge, or that they know they come across something that don't nobody else know. That nobody, as if there's not men above you that haven't gone through what you've already gone through and ran through those corridors, man, and ran through those chambers and mastered those chambers, man. You understand? And he showed that young man brotherhood and was like, listen, man, you're young. You know what I'm saying? He said he ain't talking about physical age. He just meant young in experience and young in knowledge. You understand? But what happens is, man, is that, you know, this whole term woke, people come into this whole thing feeling like that they've come across some information that don't nobody else have. And instead of going to check with somebody with wise and get wise counsel and go to the man above them, which is brotherhood. Because you don't have no brotherhood. Brotherhood, let me tell you something, man. Brotherhood is about trusting the men above you. Brotherhood is about listening to counsel, man. The scriptures say that there is no wisdom, there is no defense, there is no counsel against the Lord. That there is safety in the multitude of counselors, man. But your pride keeps you from going to your brother and getting counsel. And the Lord's going to deal with you. You can keep on with that pattern, but the Lord's going to expose you and deal with you, man. You have to humble yourself, man. You understand? There's nothing wrong with checking in and tapping in and asking the question, Salakia, sir, is this correct? I was considering this, I was thinking this, but is this right? Does this fall in line with our culture? Does this fall in line with the laws, statutes, and commandments? Because see, people, you know, the scriptures, I mean, not Salakia, oh, good night, Salakia. I almost said the scriptures. Salakia. It has been said that the road to hell is paved with good intentions, man. People feel like because they start off with a good intention, that justifies their path or the direction that they're going in. But that's what counsel is for. Because you might have something in your head, you might have something in your mind, but in order to qualify that, you have to vet that information, you have to vet that thought. Because we get all types of thoughts. You understand? All types of things come into our head. But a wise man, a man of understanding, will go and seek counsel and get that thing verified, man, if it be true or if it's false. But men without brotherhood, they don't do that. They, like I say, they have their own thoughts in their mind, and they run in any direction, and then they lead people into darkness. Like how Christ said, man, you know, if the blind lead the blind, both shall fall into the pit. And that's what you have right here, man. Keep reading. These wicked men in Israel that persuaded many. Instead, let us go make a covenant with the heathen. Let's go make a covenant with with these devils that are oppressing our people. Look at what our covenant with our oppressors has done for us. It's gotten us HUD. It's gotten us government cheese. It's gotten black men outside of the households and away from their children, so the mothers can get welfare. This is what our covenants would. It's gotten the Native Indian the reservation, man. You understand? That's what it's gotten the Native Indian, man. It's gotten our Hispanic brothers, their children sleeping under tinfoil in cages. That's what our covenant with the heathens have gotten us. It's gotten us the Civil Rights Act. It's gotten us redlining. It's gotten us Jim Crow. It's gotten us integration. It's gotten us equality with no equality. Because we don't want to take heed to what the Lord said. We don't want to hearken and observe and be what the Lord called us to be, a kingdom of priests, a holy nation. We want to be human. We want to be like everybody else, man. Keep reading, warrior.
Come on. Verse 12. So this device pleased them well. Verse 13. Then certain of the people were so forward herein that they went to the king, who gave them license to do after the ordinances of the heathen.
That's what you got, man. When you know, these political groups, man, that, you know, Black Lives Matter, these, you know, black, you know, lesbian women, you know, who want to get abortion legalized, you know what I'm saying, that want to get Plan B pills legalized, killing our children, our babies, man. They go and have the very oppressor who is over us to legislate and legalize the things that keep our people in oppression, man, and keep our people in the condition of the curses, man. You know, you got your what's that brother's name? Well, that god damn, I can't even think of his name right now, man. You got these pundits on CNN, these black, oh yeah, Van Jones, that clown. You understand? Louis Farrakhan, Ice Cube, and you know, when I say, listen, man, these are wicked people because it's evil what they do. Instead of us turning to our power and doing what the Most High said, which is for us to humble ourselves, man, and to remember, you know what I'm saying, what was commanded us, and to observe and to rehearse the righteous acts, man. You know what I'm saying? Instead of us doing that, we go to these other nations, man, and try to seek an answer through them by making a covenant and agreement with them. It's evil. The Bible says they were what men came out of Israel?
Wicked men.
Wicked men. The Lord called them wicked, man. The Lord is calling Jesse Jackson wicked. The Lord is calling Al Sharpton wicked. The Lord is calling Van Jones wicked. Louis Farrakhan wicked, man. Linking up with Scientologists, who the founder of Scientology was a known and confirmed racist, man, who called blacks and Hispanics monkeys, man. And you over there tomorrow, you gonna take from them and use them for the mental health of your people. You're wicked, man. You're wicked. No brotherhood. You feel like you're giving your people an easy out, man, but you're leading them to destruction. You have no brotherhood, man. Okay? Keep going, brother.
Come. Verse 14. Whereupon they built a place of exercise at Jerusalem, according to the customs of the heathen.
That's these coliseums, that's these sports coliseums, that's these gymnasiums, you know what I'm saying? Now, of course, you know, it's not in the same fashion today as it was back then, but it's the same thing, man. You understand? We more caught up in Sunday football and some team of that's owned by our oppressor that has our people being used for sport. We more caught up with that, man, and have a brotherhood behind it. I mean, you know, I know, you know, I mean, I don't want to be over righteous, and I'm not going to go there like that and go off the cliff with it. But at the same time, man, you got brothers that really, you know, have an art with their brother over a team that they don't own, that's filled with their people out there, you know what I'm saying, damaging their body for the pleasure of the white man, for the profit of the white man. You understand? Keep reading, warrior.
Come. And made themselves uncircumcised.
And made themselves uncircumcised. What does that mean, man? Is it talking about that they went and undid the circumcision that was done to them prior? No. That means that they made themselves like everybody else around them. They were not separate, man. They were like the heathens, man. It doesn't mean that they went, because you can't undo a procedure of circumcision. Once you're circumcised physically, that's it. You can't undo that. You understand? It's like when, you know, when Christ said to be born again, you know, Nicodemus said, can I go into my mother's womb a second time? No, Nicodemus, you can't. That's not practical. That's not what I'm talking about. That's how you know when it says that they made themselves uncircumcised. It's talking about their lifestyle, man, their ways and actions, how they went about doing things. You couldn't tell them apart from nobody else. Like the Christian. The Christian goes to Red Lobster. They get the lobster tails, the shrimp scampi. You understand? And they look like the world. The Muslims in there eating the same thing. The Christian pastor has the pork chop on his plate. He looked like everybody else. What's separate about him? What's holy about him? What's different? Okay? It's nothing, man. And that's what the Christian church teaches you, man. To be like everybody else, man. To be like your oppressor, man. To have pride and not care about your brother and go for self. Okay? Go ahead, keep reading.
Come on. Verse 15. And made themselves uncircumcised. And forsook the holy covenant.
Good night.
And joined themselves to the heathen.
When you forsake these scriptures, you join yourself to these other nations, man. So let me tell y'all something, man. For these Christians out here, these fake Israelites that have no brotherhood, man, when you hear them talking about these other nations, how they want to argue about not hating Esau, read this again, man. Who forsook the holy covenant and joined themselves to the heathen. You got these Israelite groups, man, that allow heathens into their Passover. When the Passover is a celebration of the destruction of the heathens. And after that celebration of the destruction of the heathens, the Lord sent them out to destroy more heathens. They went on a campaign from city to city, nation to nation, village to village, destroying more heathens. But now all of a sudden the Lord has softened up and turned into some type of effeminate power, and He wants everybody to hold hands together. And He cares about whether or not if you don't like your oppressor. Now all of a sudden it's an issue. Now the Lord has switched up. He's a schizophrenic, and He didn't switch up and change. But we know the scriptures say that the Lord our God changes not. Right? But now it's some confusion now. Well, Deuteronomy 23:7, let me tell y'all, man, these are the wicked, man, that the Lord is talking about, who forsake the holy covenant, which told us to be separate from these other nations. For us to realize that we are above them, and to love our brother, to place preference on our brother, our sister, and to love them. Whenever you hear somebody talking about the love of their enemy or the love of these other nations, know that they are forsaking the holy covenant and they want to join themselves to the heathens, man. And these are the wicked that the Bible talks about, man. They want to destroy the brotherhood. They're not trying to keep it intact. Keep reading, Roy.
Don't come. And we're sold to do mischief.
And we're what?
And we're sold to do mischief.
Listen, man, the Bible says that the gift destroys the heart, man. It destroys the mind, man. These bastards were sold to do mischief, man. They wanted to join the heathens to be able to do what the heathen do. To smoke weed. You understand? To go to the strip club. You understand? To be able to sell their drugs and make a profit. To be able to destroy their own people and make profit off of it, man. These are the wicked, man. You understand? This is not the brotherhood that the Lord gave through Moses, and this ain't the brotherhood that Christ died for, man. You understand? Salakia. Drop down to verse 20.
Come. Verse 20. And after that, Antiochus had smitten Egypt. He returned again in the 143rd year, and went up against Israel and Jerusalem with a great multitude.
See, General Muhammad, man, he said, I heard General Muhammad say that Satan comes to test the brotherhood, man. That when the brotherhood is weak, Satan comes in to test the brotherhood. And you saw what preceded these events. What preceded Antiochus invading Jerusalem was a breakup in brotherhood, man, which was the forsaking of the Holy Covenant, which was the forsaking of the scriptures, man. Prior to an invasion, prior to the house coming to desolation or being destroyed, there's going to be a breakdown in the brotherhood. That's why brotherhood is so vital, man. That's why it's so important, man. You understand? Brotherhood is critical, man, for overcoming our enemy and his oppression. We have to rely on each other, man. You understand? Keep reading, Warrior.
Come. Verse 21. And entered proudly into the sanctuary, and took away the golden altar.
Good night.
And the candlestick of light.
The candlestick of light, man, which is the menorah. Which is what we have, which is what we have lit right now during this observation, man, the Feast of Dedication, man. Christ said, man, light your candle, man, and set it up on the mantle, man, for that the whole room might be filled with light. The heathen came in and took what was sacred unto us and took it for themselves. That's why you have these fake Jews out there right now, man, who've taken the things that belong to our culture, belong to our people, and made it their own. It's been given into the hands of the heathens, and now our people are asleep and dead and don't even know. They're looking at a people who have robbed them of their identity, and they don't even know who their brother is, and they're trying to seek an agreement with them because they feel like they have the power. No, they took your culture and they took the things that would allow you to have your power regained by submitting and yielding yourself to the Most High power, which is observing the feast days which He ordained for us to observe, man. Which is going back into our histories, man, going back into our archives and seeing our forefathers and how they had to endure the oppression of the enemy and how they stood tall, man. How they showed righteous brotherhood and righteous leadership. You understand? Keep reading, warrior.
Come. And all the vessels thereof. Verse 22. And the table of the shewbread, and the pouring vessels,
right,
and the vials, and the censers of gold,
right,
and the veil, and the crown, and the golden ornaments that were before the temple, all which he pulled off.
All which he pulled off, man. They took the things that were precious unto us, man. The symbols of our culture. You know, when we watch class and we see General Muhammad, Commander General Yohana, General Haas, Captain Akai, Salakia, all the generals, General Q, all the generals, when they're sitting at the table, when the captains, when the officers are sitting at the tables, and you see the ram's horn, you see the menorah, you see the candlestick, you see the soldiers, the men that are in armor, the crowns, the lions. These were all the symbols of our culture, man. It was the reminders of who we are. When our children come up and they look at our culture, they look at our feasts and our ceremonies, and they're like, well, what's that? What does that represent? And we can tell them what it symbolizes, man. That we're a kingdom of priests, man. That we're a holy nation. But we were robbed of that because we forgot our brotherhood. We forgot the most important thing, man. Our code, our ethics, man, our morals, which come from the laws, statutes, and commandments, man. The scriptures say, man, that a man that has no rule over his spirit is like a city broken down without walls, man. As a people, man, we lost our spirit. We lost our vibe. We lost our culture, man. We lost our brotherhood, man. And that left us open and ripe for invasion, man, by the enemy. And that's what's happening to this very day. Ain't nothing new under the sun, man. These Christian pastors leave our people ripe and open for invasion. Child molestation, robbing our single black mothers and of their incomes. For what? For a fake juke joint, Holy Spirit dance. Every Sunday to hear the choir sing, to see some effeminate homosexual lead the choir and shake a tambourine. We ripe for invasion, man. While our sons are being locked up behind these prison walls, man. While our children are on the borders, man, separated from their parents. While our Native Indian brothers are dying away in poverty and in squalor on these reservations, man. But as long as you sow that seed, though, right? Because them Christian pastors have excellent brotherhood. But to fleece the sheep, to fleece the people, to rob the people. That's why they have the revivals. You understand? They have a revival every month. Why? Because, money getting low. The money circulating through the tithes getting low. So I got to bring in this little hot fire preacher that's going to rile everybody up. And he got an excellent keyboard, a piano player, an excellent drummer, and a great choir singer. Get everybody worked up. And then, hey, now it's time to sow that seed. And let him eat off of your congregation. Why? Because he's going to show you brotherhood and have you be able to go to his congregation and go line your pockets. because they are their father, the devil. Because they have that. They have a brotherhood. But it's a wicked brotherhood, man. Because why? They were sold to do mischief, man. Keep reading, warrior.
Come. Verse 23. He took also the silver and the gold and the precious vessels. Also he took the hidden treasures which he found. Verse 24. And when he had taken all away, he went into his own land, having made a great massacre.
A great what?
A great massacre.
The heathen, the white man received all the spoils and the precious, the things that were precious to our people, to our nation, and then went proudly back to his homeland because he had a great massacre, a great victory. And we over here about to celebrate Christmas, man. Celebrate the holiday of our oppressor. Yeah, man. And what you think, man? The families that own Gucci, the families that own Louis Vuitton, the families that own Versace, the families that own these gallerias, these malls, the commercial property owners, you know, the families that own the bail bonds companies, because you about to go and sell these bricks of weed to try to get your kids a four-wheeler, and you're going to get locked up and have to pay the bail bondsman. Listen, man, everything that we do that's against these laws, that's against brotherhood, it benefits our oppressor, man. It gets them richer. It keeps their kingdom running. You understand? The prostitution, it benefits the white man. Because when you get caught, you got to pay a fine to get up out. You got to pay for a lawyer. You got to pay court costs. If you sit in jail, the state is getting paid for that. Everything we do ultimately that's outside of these scriptures, it benefits the kingdom of our oppressor, man. Every time we go against the brotherhood that the Lord gave us, we strengthen our oppressor. When we it blows my mind, man. I see our people, man, on the book talking about, you know, they pray that the Lord bless them, and you know, and Lord defend me against my enemies. They're not talking about the white man when they say that, because you say the white man is the enemy, they get offended. Oh man, we're all created equal. You know what I mean? You're dealing with hatred. But then they talk about the Lord defend me from my haters. You talking about your own people. It's sick. It's sick. We're not even talking about the people that are actually doing real harm to us. We're talking about somebody who might look at us and be jealous, or look at us and covet. And then really at the end of the day, it's all vanity, because don't nobody really care about what you got going on anyway, man. Nobody cares if you're making $15, $16 an hour. If you're able to go to the club every Friday and have on a new dress, or if you're able to rock a fake diamond bracelet and a fake Rolex at the club. Nobody cares, man. We all in the same hell, man. But we'll talk about haters. We're not talking about the true hatred that comes from our oppressor, that has our children in these schools getting no real education, no real knowledge of themselves, man, and who they are as a people, being lied to, being taught to do the very things that cause our people to stay in this condition, man. We don't talk about that. We worried about the nigga at the club who we think is looking at us sideways. But hey, Barakatha Yahweh Yahweh Shah for COVID-19, man. That shut all this fake social metrics down, where we measuring ourselves by what we have on, by our appearances, man, instead of walking in the love of Christ, man, walking in the love of God, man, loving each other, man, and supporting each other, man, and being there for each other, man. I thank the Most High for the plagues, man, and I pray for more curses. I pray for more destruction on this earth, man. I pray that the Lord send more plagues to shut all this garbage down. You understand? Salakia. Keep reading, man.
Come. And spoken very proudly. Verse 25. Therefore, there was a great mourning in Israel.
Right.
In every place where they were.
But now, mind you, you have the people are suffering. The poor are suffering. right? They're suffering, but you had those men that were sold to do mischief who are profiting in the midst of the suffering of our people. No brotherhood. That's your Christian pastor. That's your Muslim imam. You understand? That's your Republican leadership, your Democratic leadership. Al Sharpton, Jesse Jackson. You understand? Our people who are benefiting off of the oppression of our people, man. These lawyers who actually, when our people get killed by the police, you have the same circuit of lawyers that go to defend these families, to sue, right, to get money for the family, to sue for $12 million, but they're going to get like 30%. And then, 70% get taxed and the family gets the rest. They live off of our oppression, like parasites, man. They see the system that the white man has built up, and they're sold to do mischief. Let's make an agreement. Let's come to terms. Let's do a civil lawsuit and come to terms and come to an agreement with the city of whoever that killed your son. We can't bring your son back, but you can at least get some, get a check, get some compensation. Not justice, but compensation. Sold to do mischief. Keep reading, boy.
Come. Verse 26. So that the princes and elders mourned, the virgins and young men were made feeble, and the beauty of women was changed.
Don't that sound what's going on right now, man? We talk about the effeminization of our young black men. You understand? We see our women, they're feeble in mind. They're talking about WAP and throat babies. You understand? I want to give it to you. You got our women singing this, man. That's what we've been reduced to, man. Feeble. And the beauty of our women has changed. That's why they out here getting these surgeries done, man. Getting these butt injections, these butt surgeries. Getting like this lace. Getting these stomach surgeries, these breast implants. The beauty of our women has changed. It used to be that our black women, naturally, their natural bodies and forms were what these heathen women coveted. And they do covet it. I see right now on Instagram, man, you have white women who are trying to look like black and Latino women. They're getting these spray tans. They're changing like their makeup to make them look more like Israelite women. But then you have our women who are putting on blonde wigs, getting lip injections. The Lord already gave you full lips. The Lord already gave you a beautiful shape and form. But the beauty of our women has changed, man. You understand? And not just from the outside perspective, man, but also internally, man. That humbleness, that humility, that quiet and meek spirit. Now we have loudmouth dragons who want to voice their emotions and their opinions on Facebook posts. You're not achieving nothing by that. You want to put out your fantasies and your wishes about how you want a man to be and how a man should be, and how you're different from every other woman. No, you're not. You're in the same hell that your sister is in, man. And unless you're under righteous leadership from a righteous priest and Isupk, you going through hell too. No, I'm not. I got a 4-bedroom, 5-bedroom house. I got me a Mercedes-Benz outside, yeah, but you still grieving over the fact that your husband out there with another woman, or even worse, with another man. Your son is still being shot in the street by the police. You making your money is not protecting your son from being killed in the streets, or protecting your daughter from being a whore, or having an OnlyFans page. You ain't got no brotherhood. You trying to look out to see, and that's the sickness of our people. We want to be in competition with our brother and our sister and feel like we one up above them when we all in the same prison, man. We locked away in these prison houses, man. Not just the physical prisons, the privatized prisons, but the prisons of our mind. Feeling like we better than our brother or our sister. Go ahead, Warrior.
I'm come. Verse 27. Mm-hmm. Every bridegroom took up lamentation, and she that sat in the marriage chamber was in heaviness.
Right. On a night where a woman should be happy to be taken as a wife, she's not. Why? Because she knows in the back of her head, my husband doesn't have any power. He don't have any authority. I'm marrying a man who ultimately is going to be a coward. He has no strength. He has no brothers. We're vulnerable and we're exposed. Keep reading.
Verse 28. The land also was moved for the inhabitants thereof. And all the house of Jacob was covered with confusion.
Isn't that what our people are right now? The entire house of Jacob, the 12 tribes of the nation of Israel, are we not covered with confusion? We don't know what we should be, whether we should be Republican, Democrat, atheist, or agnostic, or a Christian, or a Muslim, or a Scientologist, right? Or a Nubian. You understand? We don't know. We don't know where to go out or how to go about it. Should we chase the dollar? Should we buy land? Should we build our own community? Should we be holding hands with the white man or not holding hands with the white man? Should we be twerking in restaurants or should we not be twerking in restaurants? That's the level of confusion that we're at. Oh, y'all, he don't want y'all twerking in his restaurant? Come to our restaurant. You can twerk all day. Covered in confusion. The Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. A sanctuary, a little sanctuary for our people in this hell. A light in the darkness, man. Under Commanding General Yohanan. Since 1969, man. To teach our people, blacks, Hispanics, Native Indians, what true brotherhood is. Because we're destroyed right now as a people, man. We're destroyed, man, for a lack of knowledge, man. A knowledge of our agreement with the Lord, our covenant with the Lord, who we are as a people, our culture, our identity, man. Keep reading, boy.
Come. Verse 29. And after 2 years fully expired, the king sent his chief collector of tribute unto the cities of Judah, who came unto Jerusalem with a great multitude,
Right.
and spake peaceable words unto them.
Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, they speak peaceable words, but they come in for tax, man. Joe Biden's tax plan was 67%. Right now, the poor are the only people that pay taxes right now, man. The rich are not paying taxes. They're finding loopholes to keep their money in offshore accounts overseas. You understand? You might think, oh, I ain't really paying. They're taking your money out of your check before you even see your check. And he's talking about increasing the tax rate. Speaking peaceably. Go ahead.
Come. But all was deceit.
Damn right, because the white man is the devil, and he's the devil that the Bible speaks of. He is a liar and the father of it. Go ahead.
For when they had given him credence,
when they had given him credit, said, okay, let's go ahead and trust him and see what he's talking about. Go ahead.
he fell suddenly upon the city.
That's how it works. That's how it works, man. He will destroy many through peace. That's how the white man came and took the Native Indian man, took his land from him through over 500 broken treaties. They speak peaceably, but war is in their heart, man. We know this. Okay, go ahead.
And smote it very sore, and destroyed much people of Israel.
The Bible says, man, that we are never to trust our enemy. For even as rust, you wipe away rust, it's going to return, man. You understand? We're supposed to separate from our enemy, man. But because of the lack of brotherhood, because we want to trust our oppressor, we want to trust the heathen, we got to give them a shot, man. You got Terry Crews. We can't achieve this, this utopian society without involving the whites, involving the Asians, going against. He's a wicked man. The Lord calls him wicked, going against what the Lord said, man. Not looking for brotherhood amongst your own people. Like, think about that. He's advocating that we don't love each other, that we don't rely on each other, that we don't look to each other to solve our problems and our issues. When you're dealing with that kind of energy, when you're dealing with that kind of spirit, it takes a zealous spirit to come against that, man. The spirit of the Lord, a man of war. It takes a zeal, it takes a passion to cut through that bullshit. Slack it for my language. To show our people what real brotherhood is, man. I'm not talking about, Commander Yohanan is saying, I've been noticing him putting this out there lately, man. He'll say, like, now that's gangster. You understand? We're about to see what gangster is, man, to the Lord. You understand? Gangster ain't shooting your own people. You know what I'm saying? It's not rocking chains in front of your people to make them envious and make them covet. You understand? It's not being the toughest guy on the block, man. Being gangster is standing up for what the Lord said, man. Standing up for his laws, statutes, and commandments, and being willing to give your life for your people and your nation, man. Willing to give your life for your family, man. Sacrificing for your power, your most high power, and for your people, man. For your brothers, man. Christ said that no greater love hath the man than he who would lay down his life for his own people, man. That's gangster. But in order for you to have righteous brotherhood, man, you have to have righteous leadership. And we have that in the ISUPK, man. It's the only, listen, man, there's only one brotherhood. There's only one righteous brotherhood in the world today. It's in the ISUPK under Commanding General Yohana. And that's the bottom line. That's the bottom line. You ain't gonna find it nowhere else, man. And Salaki, while I say this, man, hey, man, and shout out, man, to the school in Las Vegas, for the Brotherhood in Las Vegas. I wasn't able to attend, but you know, even through, you know what I mean, through the videos and the brothers who were recording their experience out there, it felt like I was there. But of course, being there ain't gonna compare to watching it on a telephone screen or a laptop screen. But you know what I'm saying, it was beautiful to watch. It was beautiful to see. And I know every brother and sister in the ISUPK who wasn't in attendance, you know, really regretted or felt a loss for not being able to be present, because it was a beautiful thing to see, man. The love and brotherhood amongst our people, man. It was beautiful, man. But Most High in Christ, Barakatah Yahweh Yahushua, you know, we do have Purim coming up, but after that we have the Lord's Passover, 52nd, you know what I'm saying, annual Passover here in Houston, Texas. So for everybody who was not able to make it to the barbecue out in Las Vegas, all of Israel is invited to come down to the Lord's Passover. The Lord's Passover. You understand? In Houston, Texas, man. I believe it's called the Bayou Ballroom. And so I'm looking forward to that, man. You understand? To celebrate our nation's victory over our enemies, man. And the Lord delivering us from our enemies, man. And saving our people. But let me see here. Moving on. Salakia. Let me see. Go down to verse 37, warrior. No, verse 36. Salakia.
Okay. Verse 36.
No, Salakia. You can. Where were you at? What verse did you leave off at? 31.
31. Come.
Yeah, you keep going. We gonna have to do a part 2 on this.
Verse 31. And when he had taken the spoils of the city, he set it on fire.
Good night.
And pulled down the houses and walls thereof on every side.
Destroyed their neighborhood. Go ahead.
Verse 32.
That sound like Salakia. That sound like Black Wall Street. You understand? It sound like the out there in Philadelphia. I forget what the name. I forget what the name of the group was called. But they bombed the neighborhood in Philadelphia.
More Salakia.
It was something else, man. Like they had dreads, but it was a different group in Philadelphia. And they weren't Moors, but they were something like in that same vein. But
it was called Moore.
The group was called Moore. M-O-R-E. Okay, I remember what it stood for, but maybe you're right, Salaki. Okay, Salaki warrior. I'm about to look that up. But at any rate, the group that was in Philadelphia and they bombed that group in Philadelphia, it's the same thing, man. The white man has been destroying our neighborhoods and our villages and seeking to break up us as a people. It's nothing new under the sun. Keep reading, warrior.
Salaki, move. That's what it was.
Move. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. You're right. It is move. Go ahead, warrior.
Verse 32. But the women and children took they captive.
Right. And that's what you have right here at the border with our Hispanic sisters and brothers. You understand? They took them captive, man. You got the children locked up in cages, the women locked up in the entertainment centers, and they shipping the men back into these other foreign nations. You understand? Away from their families, man. And then putting the children and the women into these sex trafficking rings, man. It's nothing new under the sun. Keep going.
Okay. And possess the cattle. Verse 33. They builded the city of David with a great and strong wall,
What does that sound like? Trump wanting to build the big wall at the border. You know what I'm saying? Same thing. Go ahead.
And with mighty towers, and made it a stronghold for them.
And why is that the same? Because it was our land. They went and built a wall in our land. And they doing that right now over there in Gaza. Even though they trying to keep the Arabs out, these fake Amalekites, these fake Jews, they want to build these walls up and keep the Arabs out. But that's our land. Whenever the heathen enters our land, that's the first thing they start talking about doing is building up a wall. The white man's over here in America. This don't belong to him. This belongs to the native Indian, man. The so-called Hispanic, man. But they want to build a wall up. Listen, man, it's nothing new under the sun. What happened then is happening now. Keep reading, warrior.
Come. Verse 34. And they put therein a sinful nation.
They bring in these other nations, man. And that's what's happening over in Israel right now. They import all these other nations. They even importing Chinese, saying that they're the tribe of Manasseh. And bringing them into Israel. Supposedly they're kicking out the so-called Hamite Ethiopians that they want to call Jews. Right? And supposedly they're kicking them out. But they're bringing in all these other nations from Russia, from Poland, from Germany. All these fake Jews into their country. And it's a sinful nation. And how do we know that, man? Right now in Israel, I forget what the name of the Israel army is, man. It's a good night. I think it's called the IDC. I'm not sure, but it's like Israel Defense something. But 96% of these men in that army are homosexuals, man. Do you know that that what you want to call Tel Aviv or what Jerusalem is it has 70% gay clubs? They are doing all manner of abomination in our land, in our city, man. Because we couldn't have brotherhood amongst ourselves, man, and keep the Lord's holy covenant, man. Keep our agreement with the Most High and keep our agreement with each other, man. The children of our people. To love one another and to not bear a grudge against one another. That's what's going on right now. It says that they planted a sinful nation. Go ahead.
Come. Wicked men.
What kind of men?
Wicked men.
Wicked men. That's what you got right now here in this country. You got them in the land of our people, man. The native Indians, the so-called Mexicans and Hispanics, right? The Seminole Indians, right? The Reubenites, man, all right? They've set up borders and then put wicked men to be in control of it. They brought in the Arab. They brought in the East Indian to set up his hotels. The Arab to bring in his bodegas. The corner stores, right? Selling cancer sticks to our people. Selling poison to our people. They brought in the Chinese man. They brought in the Asian man to set up his little donut shops or his dairy, what's it called? The Dairy Queens. The East Indians. The Chinese men are bringing his Chinese restaurants to sell his cat and his dog. And they fortified themselves in our cities, man. The scripture said that the stranger that is amongst you will rise high above you and you'll be beneath him. Because we couldn't have any brotherhood. But in Isupk, man, we're supporting our own people. Our people come out with a product, man, we support that product. Whether it be, you know what I mean, whatever the product is. Food, you know what I'm saying, fragrances, you know what I'm saying, garments, clothing. You understand? We support our people, man. Go ahead.
Come. And fortified themselves therein.
Right.
Verse 35. They stored it also with armor and victuals.
Police stations with the armored trucks, man. You know what I'm saying? Right in our neighborhoods, to be able to come out and oppress our people on a daily basis, man. The drugs task force and all this nonsense. Go ahead, read.
Come. And when they had gathered together the spoils of Jerusalem,
because what they do is like they put out the drugs for our people to go out and sell, let them build up a little nest egg, then they go in and they raid it, and then they take the money off the books. They take the drugs off the books and go sell to the competition. After they raid them, let them build it up, and then go rob them for that and give it back to the people that they hit before. You understand? Same with these prostitution rings. It's the same thing, man. Go ahead.
They laid them up there, and so they became a sore snare.
Right.
For it was a place to lie in wait against the sanctuary.
Good night.
And an evil adversary to Israel. Thus they shed innocent blood on every side of the sanctuary.
Don't we know about that? You know what I'm saying? You got our grandmothers and aunties talking about, what's that? What's that song? Oh, be wary to enter the sanctuary, pure and holy, tried and true, with thanksgiving. I remember that garbage. My aunties was singing, man. Talking about the church was a sanctuary, man, but our people getting killed out there on them corners, man, by the police. They shedding innocent blood on each side of it, man. Ain't no sanctuary in them Christian church houses, man. The sanctuary that's been ordained by the Most High, man, is in the Isupk, man. The Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge under Commanding General Yohanan, man, since 1969, man. That's the sanctuary, the little sanctuary that's been ordained for us, and it's built off of Brotherhood, man. You understand? Go ahead, man. Verse 38.
Okay.
We're gonna stop there.
Insomuch that the inhabitants of Jerusalem fled because of them, whereupon the city was made an habitation of strangers.
Good night. And that's what gentrification is, man. You understand? You have our people being pushed out of their neighborhoods, and now strangers moving in. So now you have white people walking their dogs where black kids used to play on the corner and ride their bikes. You have white people calling police on black children for playing in their own neighborhoods and streets, so that they have to move out and leave now. And you have strangers inhabiting the places that we used to live in. It's nothing new under the sun, man. Everything that we're going through right now, you can find in these scriptures, you can find in the Bible, man. Because we didn't have any brotherhood. Because we don't want to be separate from our enemies and love each other and gather ourselves together and recognize that we're a nation not desired. And we don't want to come up under righteous leadership. This is what we're suffering. Keep reading.
Come. And became strange to those that were born in her, and her own children left her.
Right. Hop down to 41. 41 to 42. No, 41 to 43, then we're going to stop there. And we're going to continue on next week.
Okay. Verse 41. Moreover, King Antiochus wrote to his whole kingdom that all should be one people.
They should be what?
That all should be one people.
The heathen said that all should be one people. That's what Joe Biden is saying. That's what Trump is saying. That's what every president has said since we've been in this goddamn hell, man. Since we arrived here, man, in 1492, all the way to 1555, all the way to 1619, man. Jamestown, Virginia, man. That we should be one people, man. But they never want us to be one people, man. They want us to be one people under their feet, man. The Lord is not 50-50. Either it's going to be what the Lord said, with us being above all nations and on top, or we're going to be at the bottom, like the Lord said, suffering the curses and the punishments, man. But you have wicked Israelites, man, that still preach the same message, that we should all be one. The Lord ain't saying that. Our enemies are saying that. Because they know that if we become one with them, we get destroyed. We become destroyed through their peace. Because their peace is death to us. It's war to us. Their peace is us on the bottom. Us paying a living check to check. Us having to scramble and figure out a way to feed our families, man. Us working 12 and 16 hours and still not making ends meet. That's their peace that they have for us. Their peace that they have for us is HUD House. Their peace for us is welfare. You understand? Their peace for us is Medicaid. That's their peace. Go ahead, Ori.
Come. Verse 42. And everyone should leave his law.
Celebrate Christmas. Celebrate Easter. Celebrate birthdays. Celebrate Thanksgiving.
Everyone should leave his laws.
Right. That's what they want us to do. To leave our laws. To leave what the Lord prescribed for our people. To leave our culture. That the name of Israel should be no more in remembrance, man. They're confederate together against us, man. For us to not have any brotherhood, man. Listen, you have to understand. When they say for us to leave our laws, they're saying for us to leave brotherhood. For us not to have love for one another. To look out for ourselves. That's what brotherhood outside of the truth gets you. Is death and destruction, man. Go ahead.
Come. So all the heathen agreed according to the commandment of the king.
The heathen agreed to this. Yeah, let's get together and work this thing out. Why? Because they're in confederacy. Keep reading.
Verse 43. Yea, many also of the Israelites consented to his religion.
Why? Because anybody can join a religion. Anybody can be a Muslim. It don't matter what ethnicity you are. Anybody can be a Buddhist. It don't matter what ethnicity you are. Anybody can be a Hindu. It don't matter what ethnicity you are. Anybody can be a Republican. Anybody can be a Democrat. Anybody can believe in democracy. Anybody can believe in communism. Anybody can believe in socialism. Anybody can be a Scientologist. Anybody can be an atheist. Anybody can be an agnostic. But anybody can't be a saint. Anybody can't be a priest of the Most High. This is based off of bloodline, man. This is based off of heritage. This is based off of our lineage. This is why it says many Israelites consented unto their religion. Because religion is not of the Lord, man. The Lord gave us laws. He gave us laws to follow. He gave us brotherhood to follow. Many Israelites consented to joining Greek fraternities, to being Alpha, Kappa, Psi, whatever. Many Israelites consented to being Freemasons. Many Israelites consented to being Muslims and Nation of Islam. Many Israelites consented to being Christians, Methodist, Catholic, Episcopalian, whatever. We consented, man, and that's why we're in the condition that we're in right now, man. Because brotherhood outside of what the Lord prescribed for us, man, leads to our oppression, man. But true righteous brotherhood leads us out of that oppression. You understand? Keep reading.
I'm gonna come. And sacrifice unto idols.
When you put that Christmas tree in your house, man, you sacrificing unto an idol. Period. When you have your kids out there picking up Easter eggs, you sacrificing unto an idol. Period. Celebrating Mother's Day, you sacrificing unto an idol, man. Father's Day, your birthday, you're sacrificing unto an idol. When you consent to follow the ways of the heathens, you forsake the brotherhood that the Lord gave us, and you turn to your own destruction, man. But listen, this is going to have to be a comma on this right here, you know what I'm saying? Because I've reached my time for tonight, but we're going to continue on with this next week. That, you know what I mean, the brotherhood helps us to overcome, you know what I mean, our oppression. You understand? And, you know, I hope that you come back next week and tune in, you know what I'm saying, and get some more of this lesson. I want to shout out everybody that stayed with me, you know what I'm saying, endured with me in this class. You understand? I'm about to have the young trooper go ahead and read the security announcements, and then, you know what I'm saying, then we'll go ahead and close out.
These are the ISUPK security announcements. We are the ISUPK, started out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Rule for new brother or sister. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to shed themselves of the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There is another 6 months in which the brother or sister will court each other. After this 6-month period, the brother or sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithe, which is a commandment, Numbers, chapter 18, verse 21, and in Malachi, chapter 3, verses 8 through 10. Ma'ashera means tenth in the Hebrew. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you. Give to the treasury department or the teacher. Priest fund. It's the free will offering for priests. It's not mandatory. It's whatsoever amount you would like. Upcoming holy convocations.
Upcoming holy convocation. Oh, you got it? Oh, Salaki, go ahead. Salaki,
we have Purim, the 14th day and the 15th day of the 12th month.
That's right.
Monday, 14th February and Tuesday, 15th of February, 2020. Can be found in Esther, chapter 9, verses 20 through 31. Remind Akim and Akwak to check the bulletin board in the hallway.
Right.
If anyone wants to be a trooper in the school, start wearing all black. Boots, shirt, pants, headband, or scarf. And this concludes ISPK security announcements.
Hey, the Water Warrior. Let's go ahead and clap it up. You know what I'm saying? want to go ahead and you know what I'm saying, give a courtesy salute to the Akim, you know what I mean, Shalakia. Shalom Yahal Shamar, Salakia. Shalom Yahal Bashim Yahal Shabrak Atham to the brethren and to the sisters. Shalom Yahal Shamar Atham Bashim Yahal Shai. Salakia for that air. Hey, love you Israel, you know what I'm saying? Y'all keep enduring, y'all keep fighting y'all demons. You understand? And Lord willing, Lord allow, we see y'all here next week. Tomorrow is going to be the Wednesday law class. You know what I'm saying? We're going to have a special, you know what I'm saying, a special guest in the building. You know what I mean? So tune in for that. It's going to be from 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. Y'all come in. We're going to have Officer Kahan Gabar, you know what I'm saying, teaching the Wednesday law class. Y'all come in and tune in for that. And, you know, if you have any questions, you know what I mean, put them into the chat. If you in the Texas area, you know what I'm saying, Central Texas area, Lampasas, Kempner, Coppers Cove, Killeen, Harker Heights, Nolanville, Temple, Waco, you know what I mean, and anything that you've heard tonight, you know what I'm saying, you want to get more information, you know what I mean, subscribe to the Isupk Killeen page. If you're on YouTube, subscribe to Isupk Killeen, you understand, tap in with that number on Facebook, Isupk Killeen, give a call, and somebody will be in contact with you to give you more information, you understand, but, you know what I'm saying, we love you, Israel. Shalom.